one of the favorite things to watch in the NFL and any level of football is when you see a big man touchdown, whether it's a receiving touchdown, a rushing touchdown. Did you have any experiences like that where they had packages for you offensively or even defensively where you ended up scoring?
Dave, I'll answer for you, man. I will answer for you. Dave is a break dancer, okay? He likes to spin on his head, spin on his back. He likes to do a lot of that stuff. So I'm sure he's done a couple of things on the dance floor. But anyways, go ahead. I'm sorry, Dave.
I never had the experience of getting a touchdown. I know, which kind of sucks. I wish that I would have had that opportunity. But I know when I was in ninth grade, when I was playing nose tackle, that I was able to get a fumble. That was probably one of my good memories playing on the defensive side of the ball.
To me, when I watch football, the hardest thing to stop is the pass rush. And you say you love the technique of the pass rush. When you look at your style of game, are you more of a run guy, or a pass rushing guy?
I think that I do like the run play. I love getting to push a guy back 10 yards or pancaking them or whatever. But with the pass game, we did a lot of passing. That was a lot of our offense was passing. So I really did grow to fall in love with the technique that was involved with it.
You like that line, pancake. So I don't know. Maybe you're a pancake fan. I'm more of a waffle guy. Okay, so
Agreed.
Just so you know, I know you've been using the pancake thing. So what kind of pancakes do you like? Do you like chocolate chip? Do you like blueberry? What do you like?
I think I like blueberry.
You like blueberry?
A little bit healthier. I could say that it's healthier.
Why? Because of the antioxidants or something?
Yeah, I could say I'm getting my fruits in or something.
Well, some types of chocolate has it too. They have all the types of antioxidants. Maybe he just needs the right type of chocolate.
Well, I'm a waffle guy, so. But to me, when I look at the game of football, especially the NFL, the different rule changes. When you look at the NFL and you look at the new rule changes, and then you look at the NCAA game and the way that the game has transitioned, the spread offense, they like to use 4 or 5 wide receivers in the open field, and they also use the running back as an open field. Does that bother you when you look at the style of game, the way high school is played, all the way to college, and then you look at the NFL style of game where they like to run the ball?
It hasn't really bothered me. I think going into college, it'll be good that I did do a spread offense.
Okay.
For it, but yeah, I think because those guys kind of could have grown, they probably grew up with a running style. A lot of those guys, they grew up with a run style offense, so I think that's a little reason too why they're doing that. But I think it's a good thing too with the spread offense that it does protect my head more. I'm not getting my head smashed every play. So.
Well, you see my partner over here, every time he makes a mistake, you probably don't see it on the live show, but I smack him in the back of the head. So, he gets hit a couple of times during the show.
And then I was threatened by you and the collective group of other guests that want to hit me with a baseball bat.
Well, come on, man. I mean, Dave would agree with me, man. Have you ever hit a piñata before?
Yeah.
Well, listen, I asked some guests that if we hang Speedy on a tree from his arm straight and we covered your eyes, would you take a swing at him? And most of the recruits that we asked, they all said yes. So even though they don't know the guy, I mean, obviously it's funny to even think that we would hang him on a tree and we'd use him as a piñata. So there you go.
That'd be funny to watch.
It would, and it would be really funny when there's a 300 pound, 6'3" guy taking a swing at him. So,
especially if the tree branch is high, that could be a big fall.
As you guys know, we are talking to Youngstown State offensive line recruit David Metzler.
We were talking about spread offenses, and it's become trendy more beyond college football. College football is really the primary for it. Can you see more of it, whether it's at the NFL, whether it's even in other football leagues, other professional football leagues, really take over as a primary, and even in high school football, like you were mentioning, your school did it. But again, it's not really the norm for a lot of high school teams. Will you think it become the norm? And if so, maybe how long will it take for it to become the norm?
I do think that it'll become the norm. I think because now that we're starting to study concussions and like head traumas and stuff like that, I think that it is going to start to become more prevalent. And now that guys are getting used to, now more college football players are doing a spread offense, I think that guys are going to be more used to it. So I think teams want to do something that they kind of already have known.
Now, Dave, I've never asked a recruit this, so you're the first recruit I've ever asked this to. So we've argued over our shows over the last couple of years that I believe college players should get paid to go to college. Now, obviously, they get a college education, but a lot of these college players don't have the opportunity. Well, they don't want to play past 2 years because they want to go into the NFL. Now, if you're a player of that magnitude and you know that you're going to go into the NFL, do you think that college players, if they don't live out that college contract that they have with the school, that they should get paid for the time that they were in? Yes or no?
Yeah, I think so. And it wouldn't have to be a ton because you're already getting your school paid for and stuff, which is very expensive. But I do like the new rule that the NCAA is using, that you could start making money off your likeness, which may not be good for an offensive lineman, but we'll see.
Who's to say you won't, man? I've been really upset by the way the NCAA treats some of the players. They make millions and millions of dollars off these bowl games, and especially now they have this
College football
playoff where now they're talking about adding maybe two or four more teams. So to me, I think college players, a lot of these college players are not going to live out their college agreement for their contract for their scholarship. So after they go to the NFL draft, they cannot go back to college and finish the college degree. They will not allow it. So I believe, and I've argued this, even though a lot of people have said I'm out of my mind, I think that NCAA and the NCAA should allow that these players, if they decide after 2 years to enter the entry draft in the NFL, that those 2 years that they went to school for, they should get paid for.
I don't see that as a bad idea, to be honest. And it doesn't have to be millions and millions of dollars.
No.
I wouldn't see that. That's not a bad idea.
I think it is, and I've argued this point, even though some people think I'm crazy, but it's not athletes, it's not the recruits that think I'm crazy, because I've never brought it up to a recruit. I think it's a lot of different people that we've had on the show, different analysts, podcasters that came on our show, and we've argued these points because we wanted to know their opinion on this, and a lot of people think I'm crazy, but I think that college players should get paid for putting their lives on the line, especially when you know these schools are making millions and millions of dollars every single year. So I think guys like you, especially an offensive lineman that put their body on the line, you're talking about 365-pound defensive linemen coming at you at full speed. These guys, I mean, what's his name again? From the Jets.
Oh, Mekhi Becton.
Mekhi Becton. He ran a 40 in almost 5 seconds flat, and he's 365 pounds, 6'8".
Yeah.
I mean, imagine this guy coming at full speed at you. I mean, seriously, you might as well run. I mean, seriously, I'm about 5'10", and I'm about 200 pounds. I lost about 20 pounds, okay? And I'm a big guy. I'm not big as you, but I'm a big guy. If I see a 6'8", 365-pound lineman coming at full speed, trying to block for a running back, I'm not running towards him. I'm running backwards. Yeah. I'm running far away from him.
I think at that point, are you more scared of him or your coaches?
That's a good answer.
Maybe the coaches will be scared. Maybe they'll run into them. We've seen coaches fall over all the time with those kinds of blocks. Yeah. Those kinds of collisions. So, David, all right, this is a multiple-part question. So, the craziest game you ever played in, your favorite game you ever played in, and then the most aggressive or bizarre or crazy type of block you ever made that you could have seen that you could remember.
So my junior year, it was the first round of the playoffs, and we ended up getting Pickerington Central. They were actually ranked below us, but we always knew that they were a good team because my sophomore year, they killed us, and they ended up winning the state title. So I think that game, we ended up losing by 1 point, which was pretty sad. It was 13-14. But I think just playing in that game and getting to have that competition, I think the guy who I was blocking was going to Ohio State. And actually, their quarterback is going to Youngstown State this year. So he's actually my new quarterback, which is kind of cool to see. Probably the craziest block I remember, junior year too, is the first game against Findlay. And I remember folding this guy. Like, I grabbed him, and I think he folded in half or something. And I don't know if he was out for the season, but I know he was out for the game. And I remember after that, I think it was the Saturday, the day after, my aunt texted me the video, and she said that I need to be more careful on the football field.
Well, I think your aunt is just trying to protect you. I watch a lot of college football games, and I have always thought if I ever played college football and I got pulverized by somebody on the field, my mother come out from the audience and scream at the other coach, or just like, what's that movie, The Water Boy? Remember The Water Boy? Remember that movie? I mean, seriously, mom walking out with the donkey or the horse. I mean, seriously, I couldn't imagine it.
I'm not going to lie. My mom did that one time. I ran up to this linebacker, and I bent my knee in a weird way or something, and I fell. And I remember my mom running out onto the field. It was the most embarrassing moment. That would probably be the funniest game that I could say. And it was the only game that season that was televised. So, of course, you could see her on the field.
Well, that would be funny.
TV and stuff.
That would be funny.
Like, Mom, yeah, I was like, Mom, you can't do that in college. You may be getting tased or something.
Well, before we let you go, I know you play sports, but I'm sure a lot of fans would like to know, what do you like to do off the field? What kind of music do you like to listen to?
I think it just kind of depends on the mood. I do like to listen to rap, but then also like sometimes I just listen to R&B and stuff. So I think I like to listen to chill music sometimes.
I got to evaluate you here. I mean, how much music you like over here. So give me your hip hop kind of music that you like to. Who do you like to listen to?
Do you know Lil Baby? I don't know.
Of course I know who Lil Baby. So you know what's funny? We've asked recruits this over and over again, and they give some weird names. They have Kid Cudi. I mean, we have Kid Cudi. We have Little Baby.
Oh, he's good.
Let's not forget the Kid Cudi guy was also referencing Johnny Cash.
Johnny Cash, too. He also told us he likes Johnny Cash. Could you imagine that? You have a guy that likes Kid Cudi, likes hip-hop, and then all of a sudden he went from Kid Cudi to Johnny Cash. I said, Johnny Cash? I mean, seriously. But, okay, so you like Little Baby. Who else do you like? R&B music. What kind of music you like?
I like to listen to J. Cole a lot, kind of just like more of his chill stuff. But,
okay.
I don't know. It just depends on the mood that I'm in, really, to be honest. And sometimes I'll listen to country, but it's not very often.
Well, I was waiting for you to say country music because you're anywhere from New York, I look at it as country. And you want to know something? There are a tremendous amount of country fans here in New York. They go upstate every single year, Dave, and they have this like country concert, and it's like there's over like 300,000 people that go in this open field. It's like Woodstock, and it's for like 3 days of nonstop country. I'm not a country fan, so I won't be over there. I won't be upstate, but I have heard in so many Tennessee and Texas and all the different places that we've talked about with some of the recruits that we've interviewed. And they all tell me they love country, but they love hip hop. And then they give us the hip hop they like. And I'm like, who the hell is this? I mean, like, seriously.
Even when we were in Virginia, we were in that restaurant inside of the hotel room. They were playing a lot of country music.
They were. But then all of a sudden you walk outside and you listen to some of the hip hop they're listening to. I'm like, what the hell is that? I mean, like, seriously. So, Little Baby, I know who Little Baby is. I've listened to some of his music. I'm not a big fan, but then again, everybody likes their own style of music. Do you like to dance? Do you have a girlfriend? Why don't you tell the fans a little bit about that?
I did have a girlfriend, but we broke up a couple months ago.
Is it because you're going to college?
I think that was a little reason too.
I'm sure. Well, I'll tell you this, Dave. Going to college is an experience. You should enjoy it, but you work really, really hard to get this scholarship to go and play college ball. Use all that ability that you can to be the player that you plan to be and to be in the future. So I give you guys a lot of credit because it's not easy. Getting into a Division I school and then getting into a Division I school, being that top dog, being that guy that's going to be a leader of that team, with a bunch of older senior players where you're going to be moving into their spot where you're going to be challenging them and playing them for their spot.
Yeah, it's kind of like now you can be one of the best players in high school, but now you're going to be one of the worst players. So you just got to work hard again, like I'm a high school freshman again.